It doesn't stop anything in this case, look, because the neck joins straight into the shoulder. That's why a woman's bra strap falls off her shoulders. If this was a real man, this would be here, it'd be pointing up, and the neck would sink into it. This would be the biggest point on that corner shoulder. Bruce Lee's necrotic. It's dead. It's dying. It doesn't want to be back on that chest, I'm telling you. It's a dead, necrotic, dying nipple. So I saw Bruce Lee's wonky nipples, and it was this picture, or something like this picture, that started this off. Men have symmetrical breasts, pecs. Men have symmetrical pecs. Women have asymmetrical breasts, meaning one is bigger than the other. And what I could see was one was bigger than the other. And straight away I thought of that old saying, if you masturbate too much, one arm will end up bigger than the other. And that's what I was picturing, that Bruce Lee masturbated a lot. And then I giggled, and then I thought, what are those three big massive lines on the inside of his so-called pec? I couldn't understand what that was. I wanted a closer look at it. So, you can really see it there, look. It's all over there. It literally looks like a cat footprint or something. Right there, you see three big dimples. Do you see them? And I was like, what is that? It's not from the cat claws, look. He's got them there, though. And they're not bleeding. We need a close-up on that, if we can get it. Look, you can really see them three dimples there. It wasn't that, though. It was a full shot of his chest that I could see. It was a close-up of what I just showed you, basically. Tiny ribcage, look. Men's are slung outwards. They don't have this. Men's rib cages open wider is the simplest way to explain this to you. A woman's is more narrow because it suspends muscle to the womb to hold the baby safe. So the inside of the rib cage is not only bigger on a man, but much deeper. That's why when we saw, who did we look at? Jane Mansfield. Jane Mansfield rib cage. It actually looked like it was a bottom of a breast, didn't it? It was so big. So Bruce Lee, we're looking for these scars. You can see it. Look, I just couldn't work out what it was. I thought I've seen plenty of blokes in my life take the top off, and I've never seen a muscly bloke. I've never stopped and thought, what's that on the middle of your chest? Have you had heart surgery or something? You know, because that's what it looks like. There she is doing devil horns. Look, the freaky satanic bitch. Let's go back. It was something from here where I really got a good view of his pecs. Boobies. Oh yeah, by the way, it was also the line underneath the breasts, not just where it showed you the size of the pec. It was this line going up diagonal, look. I couldn't understand it. Because the breast, this one's smaller than that one. It should be level, right? If it was a man, it should be level. And that's what triggered it. That scar in there and this diagonal line, which these turned out to be mastectomy scars here and here. That's what I was visualising, but didn't know what they were. It was mastectomy scars that I could see. There, again, look. The rippage where a doctor's scalpel has torn away the muscle that joined the breast together. Bruce Lee chest. Boom, boom, boom. It was something like that where I could really see it. I see the mastectomy scars, look, there and there. And this rippage here, I was just concentrating on this. Also, the nipples are in different time zones, look. See, one's higher and lower. The wonky nips triggered me, but it was this scarring once I started looking that was really affecting me as I looked at it. And I just visualised that it was a Chinese woman. And the minute I did, I was like, oh my gosh, they're tits. That's what a young girl looks like after you've removed the tits. That's what I could see. No longer did he look the super fit fighting machine that they brainwashed me with. They tried, they did. to tell me that this was the super fastest man ever born. It's a woman. Don't get me wrong, she was fast, but you put her in a ring against a man and she'll get thrown all over the place. She will, by upper body strength. If she don't get thrown all over the place, her bones will break. She's got a smaller, more delicate skeleton. God made both skeletons strong, don't get me wrong, but one's designed for heavy labour and punishment. The other one isn't. It's designed for nurturing babies and loving families. Are gentle. That's what women are. They're gentle. Real women, real natural girls are gentle. They don't have this violence in them that I see in all these videos. These girls that have learned to box and punch. The minute they come up against a real man, they're sparkoed. Just because this person's trained in martial arts and has taken a load of testosterone, she's still a girl. You put her in against the male equivalent, the real male natural equivalent, and she gets her ass kicked. Simple as. There was quite a few pictures that triggered me on Bruce Lee. Let's go trousers. Bruce Lee School of High Waisters. What do we mean by that? Well, women wear the trousers higher up, belly buttons higher up. So Bruce Lee wore her trousers too high. That's not a good picture, but that one is. It's a perfect example. All of this, look, above the... When's the last time you wore your trousers above your belly button, lads? I'll tell you when. Never! Thanks, Marv. Because our hips are skinnier and taller, the crease where our trousers would sit would be about there. On a man. We don't pull our trousers that high up. And there are many pictures of this lot. Bruce Lee's school of high-waisted trousers. We have been conditioned to looking at these. They are petite men. They really are. Bruce Lee was 140 pounds of dynamite. Yeah, I give you that. But look at that chicken nom nom there. Look at that. She was super fit. She really was. They're not what we're looking for though. There's one picture, again look, the Bruce Lee School of High Waisters. So this is what we mean when you hear me say this saying. We're talking about trousers too high. And this goes for all of them. It's not just Bruce Lee. We've got plenty. That's why Simon Cowell, the clue's in the name, cows are girls. Simon Cowell, trousers, famous for riding high. Oh, trousers. Famous for the high riding. Oh, that's someone mimicking Simon Cowell, but the same aspect comes in. Look, that the trousers are riding too high. Long leg, short body. It's a woman's fit. There's one where she's getting out of the car. That's just before that. Look how she stood. She can't stand straight. Look, where she literally looks like she's busting. Look at that. As we tiptoe through the tulips all day long. It's a woman's step. But this is what we're talking about. Bruce Lee School of High Waisters. Huge flaring trousers to hide the curves of a woman. Let's go back to Bruce Lee again. Bruce Lee's a woman. Bruce Lee. Right. Walking. Bruce Lee. Let's prove that it's a woman. Walking. And we're done straight away. Bruce Lee's a woman. I mean, you can take this to the bank of God and cash it in as truth. You understand? God created these skeletons. Forensics describes them in a courtroom to determine whether someone was male or female. When they find a skeleton, they use forensics. And we can tell when someone's living just by the way they walk. They cross their legs over and tilt the shoulders as they do. It's a woman. All day long. With really short arms. It's everything you know is a lie. And Bruce Lee's just one of the many lies that you believe in. What was that? Stop the bus. Oh, it's Bruce Lee with his husband. No, don't you tap me there. I hate that. Get off. It was the neck that got me. Bruce Lee with her husband right there. We can see, just by the way they run or walk, whether they're women. The 100% marker, of course, at a gate. It's the weight of someone. Bruce Lee walking. Woman. I've not seen that before. So is this one as well. The master, whoever that is. Is it IP? That might be IP man. I think it is. Look, the IP man's a woman. Look at the sloping shoulders, wide hips. They've both got pear-shaped bodies. Look, narrow, short shoulders. Bruce Lee was also a ballroom dancer. A woman learning to dance like the man's moves, and vice versa, of course. There's Bruce Lee dancing. There was a picture here that got me as well. I was just like, you're a tart. The hips on Bruce Lee, look. Pear-shaped man. And this is a Chinese man, a real Chinese man. That's the real Bruce Lee in the dress. But Bruce Lee liked ballroom dancing, strangely enough. Where's the big old gay picture of him? There's a real gay one. That might have been it, I'm not sure. There, like Robert Redford. But there you go. Bruce Lee was also a ballet dancer. The same as Tupac. Tupac did ballet. But Bruce Lee here. The final straw on Bruce Lee was the voice. When I was sat here thinking about all this information I was taking in. And all of a sudden I thought, when I get angry, because I'm a real man, and I've got a deep voice, I've got 40% bigger lungs. Just like a lion. The lioness growls, it's scary. When a lion growls, he's king of the forest, he's king of the jungle. You know what I mean? If I was the king of the forest. They told you in The Wizard of Oz. King of the forest has got bigger lungs, bigger mouth, bigger voice. Deeper voice. And I thought about Bruce Lee's scream, and all of a sudden I was just like, oh. And I just thought, it's a woman. It really is a woman. Before I didn't remember at this point, I didn't know anything about the gates. Nothing. I knew nothing about the gates for nearly 2 years. I didn't understand it properly till I met Bevy. But before that, I only had the skulls and the bodies that I'd been trained in. Well, I was training myself in because none of them gave directions like I give you the directions, right? The far part eyes, the rectangle shape. They don't mention any of this. They don't want you to know the hard evidence that destroys them. It destroys them. It really does. Where's all the Bruce Lee walking pictures? Or as I like to call her, Bruce She. Oh, there she is doing the baffo look. Look at them trousers. Give me a break. Same with this one, another woman. Beefy woman, but still a woman. And there they are, telling you, look. They're telling you that they're in the club. That's what this means. It means I'm both sexes. I'm a boy girl. I'm a cowgirl, cowboy, whatever. Yeah. It's all backwards. Stable diffusion. He's got 3 legs. I swear down, AI is out of control, isn't it? AI is truly out of control. Right, where's the rest of my Bruce Lee gates? Bruce Lee Street. Let's try Street. That's it. Look at the state of that leg. That's San Francisco, isn't it? Yeah. There's Bruce from Flamingo. Carrying his bag like a woman. Oh, look at this. Peter, when's the last time you sat like that, Peter? Never! Nikola Tesla. I told you about Nikola Tesla and the way she sat reading the book. Exactly the same. Cross-legged woman. I just want them gates, Bruce. Where's the rest of these gates? Oh, there is one way we can do it. We'll just bring up Twitter. And we'll search Twitter. Let's get rid of Elle McPherson and put Bruce Lee in there. 2 first names. Should come up. No. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're all wearing Bruce Lee skull high waisters. Look at them. Right away across, look. They've all got high-waisted trousers. Explain it to me. Go on. Take your time. Who's that? Oh, Marlon Brando with the boobies out. Wonky. Bruce Lee nipples, look. Necrotic nipples. Tiny muscles. No bone to stop the bra strap sliding over. Let's go back. Al Capone's Bruce Lee Skull of High Waisters. In shape, out of shape guy. That's what it is, like. In shape, out of shape guy. Let's go back. We're looking at, I don't know who that is, but look at the state of them trousers. Long legs, short body, tiny body. Let's go back again. Oh, that's a nice one. Bruce Lee's camel toe. Stood like a woman. Look, Bruce Lee's camel toe on show. Pretty girl. Yeah, it is a pretty girl. She's a very pretty Chinese girl, Bruce Lee. 2 first names. There we go, there's mine. Enter the Drag Queen. That's the one I was looking for. That full mince with a boyfriend. The other boyfriend, not the white boyfriend. The Chinese boyfriend. Is his name Annie? I can't remember. But there it is. There's full mince. Bruce Lee. Shoulder till, hip twist. Full mince. Short arms. Her arms barely past the crotch, look. But this one, right past the crotch. He looks like he's got a penis, actually. Look at Bruce Lee's pear-shaped hips. Look at them. I outlined them for you. Look how wide she is there. She shouldn't be. It's impossible. It's a man, allegedly. Enter the Drag Queen. And there's the final one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full minces. Bruce Lee is a woman. Bruce Lee's a woman! Bruce Lee's a woman to me! Bruce Lee's a woman. And that's the end of it. There you go. Titties! Look at a necrotic nipple. It wants to die. Right, okay. Bruce Lee, done. Let's do another one. Jean-Claude Van Damme. They love to put it in the name. Bruce Lee had 2 first names. Oh, also, Bruce Lee was born into the Tokyo. His godfather was the godfather of the Tokyo Mafia. Something like that. I can't remember. Something. Not Tokyo. I can't remember. Bruce Lee, straight, gone, bye. See you later, Bruce. Or as I like to call it, Bruce Shee. Jean. It knew what I wanted. Van Damme. There's an E on the end. It's Dame. Dame's only got 1 M. I don't care. The double M is for a 33. Educate yourself in Shimantria. We're looking at Jean-Claude's boobies. Again, where's all the muscles gone? I see many men of Jean-Claude's age, and they don't look like that. Jean-Claude, really flat forehead, widest in the hairline, small high set ears, pink lips, a deep philtrum. She's got really pretty eyelashes. I can't really see them there though. There's your shot. Looks like John Cena. This is John Cena! It looks like John Cena. The plastic surgery, it's gone to pot, hasn't it, look? Small, high set ears, rounded eye sockets. Look at the shape of the eye socket, look. It's not closed in, look. There's no brow bone closed over the eye. When you look at a real man, you're not going to see an open eye socket. You're going to see a rectangular one. Like this. A rectangle shaped eye socket, look. Where the bone and skin overhangs the eye because the eye is deep set. It's not opened like hairs. It's all open, look. You can see the shape of the eye socket, look. And there, you can see the shape of the eye socket. Rounded. Look at the 2 skulls. Only one of them has big, wide, open sockets. Men's are closed in, look. Different shape because we have this cheekbone here. Women don't have it. Let's go back. They have cheekbones, but not like men's. They have small ones, look. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Van Damme, the muscles from Brussels, fooled everyone. He was, in his day, when I watched Bloodsport, I was Jean-Claude Van Damme mad. Absolutely mental. If someone had tried telling me that Jean-Claude was a girl after watching Bloodsport, I'd have been like, you're on drugs. But there's this problem with Jean-Claude. And this picture, when I started studying, you see, God leads me. I have been trained by all the teachers, the flip-flop ones that they sent me, who didn't give me all the information. I give you all of it, right? Everything, all the markers, everything, and all the things I learned on my own. And this was one of them. I was looking at this picture and I remember Jean-Claude doing the splits. But there was another one in Bloodsport where he does it on 2 chairs. And I looked at this one. There's another good picture of it. Okay. I want you to look at the position of those legs. Right? They're almost straight. Almost straight. But the main point I want you to look at is where she is suspending herself on. It's the ankles, look. You can really see it on this one. She's suspending herself by the ankles, look. See it? But if you look at Jean-Claude's daughter, who's his son, Jean-Claude Van Damme, daughter, what's his name? Bianca Brie. There he is. That's the one I want. There. Now, I'm going to flick between the pictures so you can see it. Can we get a bigger one than that? I really want you to understand what's going on here. There we go. So I was looking. He's massive, isn't he? He is solid. Between her and him, between the two of them, I'd sooner fight Jean-Claude because she's a woman. I would like you to notice that Jean-Claude is actually sat on a full wall or something there. He's not suspended. This one's suspended. I want to go back to the suspension picture. Look at the size of those clavicles. And the shoulders. Look at the neck. Look how big the neck is. Budgies you could fill that with water, and budgies, small bears would bathe in it. Look. Beard bath shoulders. Let's go back. This picture. So, whilst I still remember, look at where the boy is suspending himself from the knee, look. See that? From the knee. Not from the ankles like his mother. From the knee, because we have a different separation of the hip, right? A woman is much more flexible. She can do this at her ankles, look. And she's literally bowing in the middle, which a man can't do. The best picture is when that one. Look at that. By the ankles, look. Can we get a better shot of it? Oof! Absolutely oof. By the ankles, look. Literally by the ankles and bowing in the middle. Men don't bow in the middle. Look. We go upwards. We can't bow in the middle. And we have to suspend ourselves from the knees. Because otherwise, that bloke could split himself in half. He literally would. Look at the size of his arms. Look at mother and daughter. Look at that arm. Explain that arm to me over this little dinky one there. Look. Little Popeye muscles here, but that damn thing there, look at that. 12-inch long arms, minimum. Easy, longer than a foot. Easy, longer than a foot. Massive, long arms. Not designed for breastfeeding. Let's go back to Jean-Claude Van Damme. We're looking at Jean-Claude Van Damme doing the splits. The muscles from Brussels. And I know it's hard for you to accept that because you've been brainwashed into thinking it's a male movie star like Bruce Lee, that a man can do the splits like this. And we can't. We cannot do it like... We can do the splits, but we can't do it like that. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Is he doing... I thought he was doing 666 there. We're done. Jean-Claude Van Damme's a woman. What we need now is some gates to show you the truth. Remove walking. Look at that diamond in there. The leg and knee and foot are swinging outwards towards 4 o'clock in rotation. That's what we mean by rotation. There's an inline footfall. There's another one with the foot and knee looking out towards 4 o'clock. Look, the husband in the background, the big old bloke. He must be in the doghouse or something. There's another one from Flamingo. Look at the state of that leg. That leg. That leg. Look at them chicken nom-noms. Look at that gate. Oh my gosh. There's only one fella there, and it's this dude here. Look how straight that body is. The rest of them have all got curves and diamonds, look. Curves, 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 diamonds, curves and diamonds. Straight lines. Look at the state of that one there. Oh my gosh. She can't walk straight if she tried. I want a really big picture of it. Gutted. State of that queue line. She's got no chance. See, when people tell me they're surrounded by people like this is what the street would look like where you walk. You're telling me after I've trained you, you wouldn't be pissing yourself with laughter if that group, that motley crew came walking, if these were just strangers to you, especially these two, and they all came walking towards you like that, you'd end up laughing from the way I've trained you. You would. What can I say? Bruce Lee's a woman. Jean-Claude's a woman. Look at this. Look at that mince there. Look at the shoulder tilt. They're all women, by the way. Another one from Flamingo, look, with a diamond showing. It's because his knees are opening that you get a diamond. A man's, his knee would be here. You just have you'd have a tiny little bit of light there, that wall showing. You wouldn't get the V shape. The Flamingo foot. That's it, right? Jean-Claude Van Damme. Another one bites the dust. And again, one more for good measure. Look at the way she walks. Arms hanging away from the body. Widest in the middle, not at the top. And of course the broken leg shooting outwards. It's a woman. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Woman. Steven Seagal. Got gal in her name. Gals are girls. Gallagher. Where are we? Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal. Straight away with a dial M for Masons in the hairline. Look, letter M. Close set, rounded. Look at it. You can see the shape of the eye socket. Look. Small ears, pink lips. Again, if someone had tried to tell me that Nico, that Nico was a woman when I was watching Nico films, I'd have laughed. But now, look at that squashy. Where's your brow bone? Look at the rounded eye socket. The tiny triangle when you draw it. 5 head, widest in the hairline. No cheekbones, no brow bone, small mouth. Where's your jawbone? Where is Seagal's jawbone? She's a big girl though, isn't she? Putin's a little girl, and she's a big girl. She's 6 foot something. But the 5 head. Look, that's in his 20s, isn't it? Nico. Oh, Steven Seagal running, if you do not know how girls run with their elbows out. Steven Seagal running has got to be the best training video in the world of how girls run. Steven Seagal running. Yeah, look, it comes up. Excess of copyright material may under certain circumstances be quoted. Look at the way she runs. Elbows out, arms swinging. Who broke your arms though, love? Excess of copyright material may be used for criticism, news point, teaching and research without need for permission from parents of copyright holder. Bink. Let's cut the music out. So, this is the whole compilation of Steven Seagal running. Let's see if we can get that better. We can. Let's open up the picture wider so you can see this. Now, when a girl runs, her elbows are down and out. And when she tries running fast, she creates little circles with her arms and elbows. Just like this. Like a windmill. Look at her running. Even the baddies do it. Look at the arms going in circles, elbows out. Both of them have got elbows hanging away, look. And this bit coming up the hill, this is the best bit. Watch the arms. Watch. You can literally put Benny Hill music on that turn. Watch this turn. Watch this turn. Watch the way she turns, Benny. Steven Seagal, the one who runs like a girl. She's got floppy arms. Why is Steven Seagal? Even if we put that in there, I might get some nice pauses in the elbows. There, look at the elbows, down and out, look, elbows out. It's all the same. Elbows out again, look. Who's that? Is that someone doing Steven Seagal? Look at the state of that arm. Look at that arm there. It's because of the female carrying angle that causes this, right? When a girl runs. But look, that right there is a stair fail. Look at the opening of the knees. Flamingo foot. Right there, look. Right, Steven Seagal. It's a woman. Look at the tiny face. It looks like a cyclops. Steven Seagal running GIF. Let's see if the artist has mimicked it perfectly. GIF. Yeah, show me the GIF, please. There, please let that be the GIF. Windmills! I told you to go round like windmills. Got spaghetti arms, Steven Seagal. Captured it perfectly. Whoever did that GIF, you need a medal. Spaghetti arms. Till the cows come home. Steven Seagal's a woman. They're all women. I'm sorry to break your heart, but they're all women. Is that real? What is she doing? Is she dancing or doing kung fu? I can't tell. It practically looks the same to me. Steven Seagal getting fat. Look at the way they've put the arms on this FTM. They love telling you. Right. Let's go back. Let's go back. And stay in that running position. Right. Steven Seagal walking. Oh, they did capture it correctly, didn't they? There, from Flamingo. With Diamond. Explain this Diamond to me if it's not a woman. Because men walk with straight legs. Our knees don't go outwards, ever. And we certainly don't cross them over. That's not him, is it? Stable Diffusion giving Steven Seagal a full mince look. Actually, there weren't many gates on Steven Seagal, as I recall. There's a nice one there. Full mints on the red carpet from Flamingo, look. And again, with the big hips, look. She was a big girl, Steven Seagal, wasn't she? Didn't she date Kelly LeBrock? Kelly LeCoq? There's another one from Flamingo. Oh, he's on a dojo there, look. Showing off his skills. There's a nice-ish one. It's in line, look. Feet akimbo. What was that one? Actually, might as well just go to my Steven Seagal and see if he's there. Steven Seagal. Open. Running again, look at this thing. Spaghetti arms. So funny. Right, my Steven Seagal seems to be missing. Why is that? Well, I'll show you. Back file. H's file. There it is. Seagal. Seagal. Search. Whilst it searches, we'll try and find a couple more gates on Seagal. Do, 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 do. Is that one? It's not very good if it is. No, you can't see it. Is that stair file where it's covered up? That might be him in the background. Oh, it is him. Just no gate for it. Shame. She's put on some lint timber that last, hasn't she? She's a big girl, that one. Look at the dial M for Masons in the hairline. Look at that letter M. You see it? Dial M for Masons. Seagal, yeah. Broken foot, broken leg. See, normal people don't recognise any of this, so they can just move around in public in front of you. They could knock on your door as a social worker, which has happened to me, and you don't recognise them. I'm telling you now, right? I've got a video of Rach's social worker, the one that kidnapped him, coming around here with another, and I swear down, even me and John at the time was because we weren't trained fully. We only had partial skills. We both looked at each other and thought, is that a man or a woman? Because she was dead soft. Really soft, like an hairdresser soft. Trying to teach us about evolution. Used to be a teacher. But in hindsight, that person's eyes were very soft and close together, I'm telling you. Vin Diesel, Stable Diffusion, giving him broken leg and full mincelet, diamonds and pear-shaped tips. AI will be their downfall at this rate. Right, back file. Seagal, what you saying? I've got a few. What we got? Dang it. There. Tweet. Seagal. Right, what have we got for Steven Seagal? Oh, we can use those three. I've got a running one as well. Steven Seagal. Post. Home. I'll show you the gates. There. Full mints from Flamingo. Full mints from Flamingo. Full mints. That's the older one, and then I did a newer one there. Different gates this time, nearly all full minces, look. And then the last one would be Bill's fashion equals Steven Seagal in the 80s, leather jacket. Irish fashion equals Steven Seagal. Brilliant. I might as well put his gate up there, haven't we? Steven Seagal running. You run like a girl. Steven Seagal. We're done. There's Steven Seagal. Let's do another one. Jet Li. Rounded glasses of it looks a bit like Elon Musk there. Rounded glasses of a female, Benny Hill glasses, not Benny Hill glasses, John Lennon glasses, Benny Hill glasses. She's a small Chinese woman. Big. Look how rounded that eye socket is. Look at the shape of it. No brow bone, high set ears, beautiful lips, Cupid's bow, pink bottom lip, look really pink, beautiful pink bottom lip. There she is, close set eyes, small dentures, high set ears with a sloping jawline, subcutaneous layers of fat. It's a rounded chin look. No shadow casting because the point between the neck and the chin is very small. The face of a woman is smaller, so it doesn't cast a big shadow the way a man's does. Jet Li. It's just modern day Bruce Lee is what it is. There's the male counterpart there with a bigger skull, the bigger chin look, the deep set eyes, and the stronger neck. Jet Li walking. There's your first one with the broken leg flamingo here as well. Jet Li from Flamingo. Who's that? Donatello Versace. Look at the size of that man's skull. Look at the deep set eyes. Whose eyes captivate that picture? Who dominates that picture there with the eyes? Look, the deep set black eyes looking back at you. Look. It's the male. And again. Oh, it's a nice full mince, but you say he's got bags in it on. There's not many gates. Let me have a look. Jet Li, my screen, search. Jet Li. Look at that picture with the girls with their elbows out. Look, Bink, just like you, just like this, arms down, elbows out. Where are we? Jet Li. Jet Li. Search. Oh, Jet Li's been taken away as well. Ghosted my Jet Li. Right, let's put Jet Li back up there. Let me find that one. Jet in the back. No, not ads. Wrong file, Peter. That file there. H's file. There we go. Cigar. Jet should find it, right? Search. Jet. Searching. Whilst it searches, we'll continue looking for her gate if I can find it. Oh, there isn't any. Yeah. Jet Li. I think it found it pretty quick then. No, it didn't. Who's that? Rob Jetta. Never mind. Jetta Downs. Jeter Downs. Derek Jeter. Jeter Downs. Jeter Downs. Rob Jetta. Come on, where's Jet Li? Oh, you stink, doggy. There he is. Jet Li with his boyfriend. That's no good. Oh, there he is. There's Jet Li. Okay, now we can post that. Let's post that one. Tweet. In fact, we'll post the one with your boyfriend as well with the big arm. Gross file apart eyes. Look at the size of that mouth. Jet Li. And there's the gates, by the way. That's what I wanted to post because I couldn't find them. Let's go home. Open up Jet Li, Sheridan Gates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full minces, just like Bruce Lee. He's got a small female face. Jet Li. Pretty simple. Chuck Norris is a good one. Let's put Chuck on there. Or as I like to call her, Chick Norris. Chick Norris. Chick Norris. She didn't age very well, did she? Look, can't grow a beard all her life, pretending to be a man. Still can't grow a beard. Look, the soft eyes, soft face of a woman. Look, close set eyes, no brow bone, rounded, small, close set eyes. She's got big ears for a woman. I'll give you that. Look at the sloping jawline. It's rounded and subcutaneous. Where's my shadow? It's because the chin to the neck is not very big. Women have a smaller tongue and teeth. It's a 3D effect. Everything's smaller on a woman. Small triangle. Look, she's widest in the hairline, not at the cheeks. This is where you expect to see a man's distance. In the cheeks, not in the hairline. It's 5 head look. A vertical flat five head that curves at the top. Pretty simple to see. We're looking at Chick Norris, who went bald really young. Small dentures, look. There she is. Chick Norris. Oh wow, she's not aging very well at all, is she? No, she's not. Chuck Norris. We're looking for Chick's Gates. He wears high-waisted pants as well. Look, short arms. Likes to wear high-waisted pants. There's the husband. Look at the shadow casting. Look at the shadow casting. Jaw. The Adam's apple. The strong neck. The big head. All of these movie stars are married to men. And vice versa. We're looking at Chuck Norris and his cannonball-headed husband. Look at the difference. Who's got the bigger face? Whose eyes are further apart and deeper set? Look at the difference. Who's got the bigger face? Who's got the biggest head? Look how wide he is in the cheekbones. Look how wide she is in the hairline. There's nothing on the cheekbones compared to that, because the eyes are close set. Look, these eyes are far apart, bigger, further apart eyes. We're looking at Chick Norris, who fails forensics. Let's get. That was the original picture. When I saw Chuck Norris with his wife, I was just like, that's a flip flop. That's a flip flop, and I knew by his wife that Chuck was a woman. Chick Norris walking from Flamingo. That's a nice running one. Elbows out and down, look like a girl with diamonds showing in the run. Squashed, it flexes. Imagine squashing a diamond downwards, and that's what happens there. Today I was so angry. I really was. I can't wait for God. I can't wait for God to come and take all these big pharmaceuticals right out of the picture. I really can't. I bumped into an old friend today. I've known her for years. I've known her since she was a baby. I used to babysit her. That's how long I've known her, since she was like 3 years old. She's now in her 30s. She's got kids of her own. And she's just had a new one last year. He's only a year old, year and a bit. About a year and a half, nearly 2 years. But I remember the day I saw him when he was born, Ezra they called him. I remember when Ezra was born, and I saw her out, and I said, yeah, I'll bet you're proud, aren't you, Dad? To the new boyfriend. He said, yeah, I am. And I told her, don't let him have any jibby jabbers. I told her. Don't let him have any. And yet, Spud's the crazy one, that's what she knows. Spud's crazy, he thinks everyone's trans. I saw him today, and he's the labelling was autistic. And I looked at her straight and I said, I'm telling you, Jess, just like when he was born, when I was born, there was no autism. Very few people had it. Very, very few. There were some Down syndromes kids around. There was a special needs place because my mum worked at it. But nearly everybody there, they called it the handicap centre. At the handicap centre, nearly everybody there was Down syndrome or MS or something, not autism. There was just no whisper. No, I don't even know what it was. But over the years, brainwashing has conditioned me to think that it's always been around. And I don't believe it. I don't believe that Down syndrome's always been around. I think it's them. I think it's all them. I think what we believe are diseases is them. We're poisons. And today I was heartbroken when I saw him. Apparently, the only thing that entertains him is cars. She said, I can't do anything with him. I said, when did it happen? She went straight after the 12-month checkup. And what do you mean? She said, I took him for the checkup. They give him his jibby jabbers, give him that. And she said 24 hours later, he wasn't the same anymore. He was gone. I hope that God doesn't show you mercy. I really don't. I shouldn't say it because, well, I'm not a Christian. I'm a follower of Christ. And I know Christ won't be impressed with me saying it, but, you know, I'm sick of this world. I hate this place. You know, I'm the crazy one. And now there's a little boy out there that's been afflicted by these bastards. They are bastards. There's no other word for them. It makes me furious that I know more than most people in this world. So do you. You know, because we listened, we saw the kingdom of heaven. We know that God exists, so we saw the lies and we changed our direction, didn't we? We changed our path. We were on the narrow path. And there's not many people on it. That's the only reason that most truthers say to me, I feel lonely. It's only because there's not many of us on this path yet. I don't know how many God's going to put on this path. I really don't. I've been doing this 12 years. And it's so hard to get people to care. They only care when something affects them like that. Then they start caring. But they don't realise how all these lies, it's just the flat earth alone, they don't realise how much damage telling us we live on a ball does. It removes God straight away from most people's minds. Nah, we're in an infinite galaxy of spinning planets and stars. All lies, don't exist. There are no stars. There are no planets. There's just Earth. That's how special we are. There's no life anywhere else. It's just here. And people are like, we're in a matrix. Yeah, they constructed for us a mental matrix. Life itself isn't. Life itself is what God created. But the devil controls most people's minds. The devil's the one that inflicts the damage into this world through lying, through telling us that we're descended from monkeys, that we live on a spinning ball, that aliens are coming. You know what? If they do the alien invasion in November, because everyone's shouting it out at the minute, aliens are coming. Have you seen it? It's all over Twitter. There's a mothership just outside our solar system. It's going to be fun times, isn't it? It's going to be fun times when the UFOs get here. The lies that these people have told have made this world insufferable to most. They put the world in this imaginary thing called debt. Worldwide. They put this debt on the world and we're forever in it until the world... Right, this is we the people. This is why Charlie Chaplin did that speech. You the people have the power to make this world great and free again. He says it was free. Charlie Chaplin knows the past. He knows what they're going to do in the future. He knows the world was flat. He knew all of these things. And he had personal information that everything in the beginning was free. All the people that were here did it for free. And we did for a long time. Somehow, Satan got money in here. Either he did it over a slow period through gambling and bartering and all this, or there was a big wipeout and Satan got control of the world and started the world again with his regime in place. Banking, control of the people's minds, controlling the education, so if you've got control of the minds, controlling medicine, so you got control of the health, controlling the government, so you got control of everything. And that's what they've done everywhere, all around the world. They've conditioned us into believing that these things are real. Chuck Norris is not a man, it's a woman. I don't care what anybody says. I can tell just by looking in her eyes that she's a girl. I can tell by the way she walks that she's a girl. Looks a bit like Tim Allen there. I don't know why I'm seeing Tim Allen. Is that Chuck walking? That's not Chuck walking, is it? Chuck Norris and Tigger's 2 Van sure, I don't know if it is. Full mints were done. Chuck Norris is violent. Put a towel between her hands. She's flossing, look. The shoulder tilt, the hip twist. That's why her arms are flossing, look. I love the way a woman's arms sweep past her body, especially when you walk fast and you've got one of your arms is tied up with a bag and the other one's going back and forth. It looks so feminine, it's unreal. Chuck Norris is a woman, look. Proven by the way she walks. If you don't believe me, take a look at that gait. Have I got Chuck Norris on Twitter? Let me check. See if she's up there. Or have you ghosted the picture? Chuck Norris. It might not be Elon that ghosted him though. It might be the original Twitter that ghosted it. Can't blame Elon for that one. Yep, Chuck Norris has gone missing. Right, let's reapply Chuck Norris to this filter system. Oh, backfile, my bad. Norris should find it. That fight that I saw in the street the other day, when he was shouting "you're all grasses" and stuff, I thought it was to do with drugs and stuff, but it wasn't. Some guy shagged someone else's missus. This is why God said, "Do not covet thy neighbour's wife." Do not covet thy neighbour's wife. It's good information, right? Tweet. Oops, come back. Chuck Norris, which one? I've got two of them. Have we only got two? I think we've only got two of them. Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris. There you go. And we're done. Chuck Norris. Let's do another one. Chuck Norris walking. We're done. I need another action star. Let's do Sammo Hung. Sammo Hung. I don't know if I've done Sammo Hung, you know. I think I would have done. Sammo Hung. Put Sammo in the back file. Let's put Hung in the back file. Bruce Lee's counterpart, the fat one, the chubby one. She used to make me laugh. She did in all those Chinese Asian movies I used to watch. I used to love karate. I used to love watching action movies. Seen all of them. Project A, Project B. Is that him there? Sweet baby Jesus, it's a Chinese girl, look. That's a small hot dog eating mouth there, close set eyes, rounded eye sockets, no brow bone. That is just a Chinese lesbian right there, look. And there she looks very feminine too. See it again. And again, looking very feminine. Rounded subcutaneous layers of fat. Small features. Oh, she's gorgeous. Look at her there. Oh, she was very pretty. Sammo Hung, she would have been pretty if they'd left her alone. Sammo Hung. Tiny hands on the wife. Pink suit as well. And the husband, there. Just like with Bruce Lee, look. Who's got the neck? Who's got a bigger face and head, look? That's just a meathead. Rounded, fat-faced. You win on the face, look. Face fills that skull. Face doesn't fill this skull, look. Sammo Hung. Walking. Let's add another one to the list. Walking. Backfile, have we got Sammo? Nothing. I don't have a Sammo. Well, there can't be any gates then. Search Sammo. This was someone produced this picture when I was saying Bruce Lee was a woman. Not that one. There's another one where it shows his backside, and it was like, "You're telling me that's a man?" I was like, "Yeah." Even before I knew about the gates, it was more like this picture. That's a man. Yeah, that's a man. A woman. Dibs. That's not the picture. It was the caved back. There was a picture of him stood the other side, and it showed a caved back. And for the life of me, I can't find it. Got it. Anyway, Sammo Hung walking. I don't think there's any gates because there's nothing in the back file for her. She's got no gates. She's not as famous as Bruce. Is that him? That's not him. It looks female though. That leg's dragging outwards. Look. There's no gates. Unbelievable. Sammo Hung let me down. Street. You really don't want to give me it, do you? Is that a single mince? Not even a. Oh, is that one in? That's not him, is it? That's not him. It's a woman now. Elbows out, cross legs. There's no gates. I wonder if Sean has done it. Shawnee, have you done this one? If you have, post to me and I'll nick the gates off you. Please and thanks. I can't bother to go through the videos for the gates. I really can't. Sammo Hung is just... He's famous, don't get me wrong, but he's not one of the main stars' names that I can bother to go